The dust of ages obscures much of ancient history, yet some stories remain vivid, etched in our collective memory. The tale of Troy is one such story. It is a saga of love and loss, of courage and betrayal, of gods and mortals locked in a fateful dance. At the heart of this epic stands King Priam, the ruler of Troy. His story is a poignant reminder of the human cost of war and the enduring power of compassion. Priam's life was intertwined with the fate of his city. His reign witnessed Troy's ascension to the pinnacle of wealth and influence. He saw his sons fight bravely, only to witness their tragic deaths. And in the end, he met his own demise as Troy burned, a testament to the devastating consequences of conflict. Priam's story, though rooted in the distant past, continues to resonate with us. It speaks to the universal themes of leadership, family, and the struggle against overwhelming odds. Priam's life was marked by turmoil from the very beginning. Born the youngest son of King Laomedon, he seemed destined for a life of relative obscurity. However, fate had other plans. When the sea god Poseidon sent a monstrous sea serpent to attack Troy, Laomedon made a desperate vow. He promised to sacrifice his daughter Hesione to the beast in exchange for its retreat. This act, while saving Troy temporarily, incurred the wrath of the gods. Heracles, on one of his legendary labors, arrived at Troy and offered to slay the monster in exchange for Laomedon's prized horses. Laomedon, true to his deceitful nature, reneged on his promise after Heracles killed the beast. This betrayal led to a devastating war. Heracles, enraged by Laomedon's treachery, sacked Troy, killing the king and all his sons except for Priam. The young prince, spared by Heracles, inherited a kingdom in ruins. This traumatic experience shaped Priam, instilling in him a deep-seated aversion to war and a profound respect for the power of oaths. Ascending to the throne amidst the ashes of his father's mistakes, Priam faced the daunting task of rebuilding Troy. Determined to restore his city to its former glory, he embarked on ambitious building projects, fortifying its walls and constructing magnificent temples. He established diplomatic ties with neighboring kingdoms, fostering trade and securing alliances. Under his wise and just rule, Troy experienced an unprecedented era of peace and prosperity. Priam's reign was not just about material wealth, it was also a golden age for Trojan culture. Art, music, and literature flourished, attracting scholars and artists from far and wide. Troy, under Priam's guidance, became a beacon of civilization, its fame reaching every corner of the Aegean world. The king, known for his wisdom and fairness, was beloved by his people. He had learned from his father's errors, choosing diplomacy over aggression, and understanding that true strength lay not in military might alone, but in the well-being and unity of his people. Even the most prosperous reigns are not immune to fate. Troy's destruction began at the wedding of Peleus and Thetis. Eris, uninvited, tossed a golden apple inscribed to the fairest. Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite began a bitter rivalry. They turned to Zeus to settle the dispute. Zeus assigned the task to Paris, a young prince of Troy. Aphrodite tempted him with the love of Helen of Sparta. Paris chose Aphrodite, setting in motion Troy's destruction. Section 5. The Greek Fury Unleashed. The Trojan War begins. Helen was already married to Menelaus, the king of Sparta. Infuriated, Menelaus called upon his brother Agamemnon to help him avenge this insult. They assembled a vast army, drawing upon a sacred oath sworn by all Greek kings. The Greeks set sail for Troy to reclaim Helen and punish those who defied them. The arrival of the Greek fleet marked the beginning of a legendary conflict. The Trojan War, a clash of titans, had begun. Section 6. 10 years of bloodshed, Priam's agony and resilience. The Trojan War raged for 10 long years, a brutal stalemate that brought immense suffering to both sides. The Greeks, unable to breach the impenetrable walls of Troy, laid siege to the city, cutting off its supply lines and raiding the surrounding countryside. The Trojans, trapped within their city, endured hardship and famine, their lives constantly under threat. Throughout this ordeal, Priam remained a steadfast leader. He rallied his people, offering words of encouragement and hope in the face of despair. He witnessed the deaths of his sons, one after another, each loss a fresh wound on his soul. Yet, he bore his grief with stoicism, his spirit unbroken. He understood that his people looked to him for strength, and he refused to let them down, even as his own world crumbled around him. Section 7. A father's plea, Priam's desperate gambit. Among Priam's many sons, Hector, the crown prince, stood as the greatest warrior of Troy. His courage and skill in battle were renowned, earning him the respect of friend and foe alike. However, even Hector was not invincible. In a legendary duel that epitomized the tragedy of war, Hector fell to the Greek hero Achilles, his death a devastating blow to Troy's morale. Driven by unbearable grief and a father's love, Priam took an unimaginable step. He ventured alone, cloaked in the anonymity of night, into the heart of the Greek camp. He entered the tent of Achilles, his son's slayer, and in an act of ultimate humility, knelt before him. He appealed not to Achilles' sense of honor or duty, but to his humanity. He begged for the return of Hector's body, so that he could bury his son with dignity. This poignant act of supplication, a testament to the universal language of grief, transcended the boundaries of war and enmity. Section 8. Troy's walls crumble, the fall of a city, the death of a king. Achilles, moved by Priam's pleas, agreed to return Hector's body. However, this act of compassion could not stop the inevitable. The Greeks, desperate to end the decade-long siege, resorted to a cunning stratagem. They built a giant wooden horse, ostensibly an offering to the goddess Athena, and presented it to the Trojans as a gesture of peace. The Trojans, weary of war and blinded by hope, accepted the gift, unaware that it concealed a deadly secret. Under the cover of darkness, Greek warriors hidden within the horse's hollow belly emerged, opening the city gates for their comrades. The Greeks, swarming into the unsuspecting city, unleashed a wave of carnage. Troy, once thought to be impregnable, fell in a single night. Priam, witnessing the destruction of his city and the slaughter of his people, met his own tragic end at the hands of Achilles' son, Neoptolemus. His death marked the final chapter in the tragic saga of Troy. Section 9. Echoes of Troy, Archaeological Evidence and Historical Significance. While the Trojan War was once considered merely a myth, the discovery of ancient Troy in the late 19th century by Heinrich Schliemann sent shockwaves through the world of archaeology and history. Excavations at Hisarlik, Turkey, revealed the ruins of a city that had been destroyed and rebuilt multiple times, aligning with the layered history described in Homer's epics. The discovery of Troy provided tangible evidence that the stories passed down through generations were not mere fantasy. It offered a glimpse into the Bronze Age world, a time of powerful kingdoms, epic battles, and complex social structures. The archaeological evidence, though fragmented, corroborated key aspects of the Trojan War narrative, such as the city's strategic location, its advanced fortifications, and its eventual destruction by fire. Troy's rediscovery highlighted the enduring power of storytelling and its ability to preserve historical memory, even across millennia. Section 10. Beyond Mortal Coils: The Gods, Prophecies, and the Fate of Troy. The Trojan War, as depicted in Greek mythology, was not merely a conflict between mortals. It was a cosmic drama orchestrated by the gods. From the very beginning, prophecies and divine interventions shaped the course of events. The judgment of Paris, the wrath of Hera and Athena towards the Trojans, the involvement of gods like Apollo and Poseidon in the battlefield, all pointed to a higher power at play, manipulating human actions to fulfill a preordained destiny. The story of Troy serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of hubris, the fleeting nature of glory, and the unpredictable hand of fate. It reminds us that even the most powerful rulers are subject to forces beyond their control. The gods, with their whims and vendettas, served as a constant reminder that human affairs, even on a grand scale, were ultimately insignificant in the grand scheme of the cosmos. Section 11. An Enduring Legacy. Priam's Tale, a Timeless Reminder. Thousands of years after the fall of Troy, King Priam's story continues to resonate with people around the world. His life, a tapestry woven with threads of triumph and tragedy, offers timeless lessons about leadership, loss, and the enduring power of compassion. Priam's reign, marked by peace and prosperity, serves as a reminder that diplomacy and wisdom are far more valuable than brute force. Priam's story is not just about the fall of a king or the destruction of a city. It is a profound meditation on the human condition, on our capacity for both great love and unimaginable cruelty. It compels us to contemplate the futility of war, the importance of empathy, and the enduring strength of the human spirit, even in the face of overwhelming adversity. Priam's legacy lies not in the ruins of Troy, but in the enduring power of his story to move and inspire us, even after millennia have passed.